Over the past few years, several ETFs have outperformed the market. Some of those ETFs have underperformed the market, and most investors look at ETFs and think they're basically the same when they look at the makeup and the stocks that they hold. And that's where a lot of people get it wrong. If you look at performance alone, the choice might be very obvious, which we're going to look at in just a minute. But most investors don't understand how the ETF performed differently. And more importantly, is it repeatable performance over an extended amount of time? So in today's video, I want to break down 3 foundational ETFs like we did last week, but I want to break it down in very different paths. And I also want to break it down with the actual numbers. We're going to be looking at the Vanguard S&P 500 or the VOO, the Vanguard Total Stock Market, or the VTI, and the Invesco S&P 500 Momentum ETF. Now, all of these, depending on your risk factor, could play a really big role in a foundational place within a portfolio. At times, really one performs better than the other, but here's the real question. Is it skill or is it timing of the market? Because when we start thinking about the VOO, it tracks the 500 largest companies within the United States. When we look at the VTI, it tracks the entire US economy in its entirety to include those mid caps and those small caps. And then, of course, when we look at our momentum fund, one of my favorites, it is actively tilting towards those companies that are already winning and they think has a really, really good momentum. So in today's video, I don't want to just look at the returns and look at the numbers. I want to break down what's actually driving that performance so you can decide which ETF is going to make sense. So let's hop over and take a look at this in the entirety. All right, guys, so here we are, VOO versus the VTI versus the SPMO. Now, like I had said earlier, when you start breaking this down, it is really interesting to kind of look at it in conjunction to where it is now, because they do play a little bit of a different role. But essentially what you're going to do is choose one of these 3, depending on your risk factor, where we know the VOO over time. And again, I want to break down these numbers in the entirety. And to do this, we are going to be using stock analysis. I actually have a link down below if you want to use this. It is a incredible, powerful comparison tool. You can see the news, the trending, the articles, the IPOs, the stocks, the watch list in here. It is kind of crazy what we can do in here. So let's break it down. And again, I want to systematically just start looking at these 3 ETFs in the entirety. So looking at the 3-month, you can see the VTI and the VOO pretty much spot on par. SPMO is up 4% in the last 3 months. So it is absolutely crushing what we're seeing with that VOO and the VTI. Looking at, both of those are negative as we're looking at the past 90 days. The SPMO, remember, this rebalances twice a year. So 2 times every single year, the SPMO is actually going to adjust the holdings. Don't know if it's really called, it is kind of a rebalance, but it does adjust the holdings in there to what they think is going to have the momentum, using roughly 100 companies within the S&P 500 that they think are going to have the most momentum in the upcoming 6 months. That is why when we start looking at the winners and the losers, VTI, we have small cap, we have mid cap, which is actually a little bit underperforming. VOO has been running and kind of steady with tech and AI. And then SPMO, when you start looking again, kind of the diversification of it, it does hold a considerable in different companies, not just looking at like a Mag 7 build, but it does hold a lot of different companies. But this is where we kind of look and kind of map out, because then we go to 6 months. It paints a very, very different picture. We know the SPMO has had, in looking at the last 6 months, has been really underperforming the VOO and the VTI. This is why I want to put it really in perspective when we start looking at these ETFs and start looking at the longevity of looking at these. So over the last 6 months, we can see they are almost all exactly identical. I mean, you're running 5.6 to 5.8, very, very, very close, even though the SPMO, again, that is where the rebalance came in March with the SPMO. I'm seeing a huge, which this one was what, March 30th. This was, I believe, exactly when, if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. You can see the SPMO is down 8.52%. A lot of people at this point cashed out of the SPMO. They left the momentum fund, they quit, because there is kind of a 6-month rotation again, like we were talking about the ETF, where it is going to change in the entirety. All of a sudden, boom, we see some really, really big increases going up to exactly where they were. And again, this is something where if you're looking down here at an 8.5%, are you selling? Let me know in the comments. Are you buying more like I did in the entirety? Absolutely, guys, we are buying this. So then year to date, so again, this is about the last 4 months. very similar, but you can see a pretty good increase with the SPMO. Then we look at the last 12 months. This is where it gets interesting. Looking at the last 12 months, we have the SPMO almost up 40% in its entirety. You can see the VTI there with 30.92, and then the VOO lagging a little bit behind. So even thinking of the large caps, those S&P 500 companies with the VOO, they were underperforming where we're seeing those mid caps and those small caps included with the VTI. Then we look out into the 3-year map and look at where this ran away. Again, when you really start panning out, when you really start looking at these holdings and breaking it down, so looking as it sits right now, for the last 3 years, if you were holding this momentum fund, you would be up 128% in 3 years. So think about this for a minute. If this was sitting as your foundational ETF, or this was sitting at roughly 30% of your portfolio, over the last 3 years, you would be up 128%. You would over doubled what you had in that portfolio. Even looking at the VOO, 75%, 73%. The last 3 years in the stock market have just been absolutely crushing it in the entirety. We know it was double-digit growth the last 3 years. And even looking back, and I think it was 2021, where we've seen a really, really big pullback in the market, which of course can have a huge impact. Because then we go back 5 years. This again is where you start panning out. And we had a couple of down years, even looking at the 21 going into 22. But again, looking at 135%. Then we go up max. Now, the reason why we use the max within stock analysis is it will go back to when the fund was created. So you'll notice right down here, this is exactly when I'm assuming the SPMO is at $0, $22 right there. VOO, a little bit of a gain. VTI, they've been around for a much, much longer time frame. But even looking at the total return, so think about this, and going back, what was that, 2015? So 2015, fast forward to 2025. So we have a 10-year, about right now, about 11-year runway that we're looking at, and we are up 463% in 11 years with the SPMO. When you start looking at the VOO, it is outperforming the VTI, but just by a little bit right there. Again, some kind of spotty performance. But overall, when you start looking at the VTI, and this is what I wanted to explain to the viewers, when you look at the VTI, about 81, I think it was 81, maybe 82 to 82%, is actually the S&P 500. It is the VOO in the entirety. So you have a little bit less concentration with the VTI just because it does own all of those companies, but it owns them in such a very, very small market weighted cap that the VOO really just dominates the US market, looking at the 500 largest companies within the United States in the entirety. Like I said, about 18 to 20% of that is made up of those mid caps and those small caps by the market cap size. And of course, looking at the core holding of the SPMO, again, 463%. So right now, it does become kind of the clear winner to hold in here. Now, again, portfolio, when we look about 30, 40% of the foundational ETF percentage, that is held within a portfolio itself. Even if you went in here and did something like, let's say 30% as a foundational, another 10% as a foundational, but 30% being in something like the VOO or the VTI, putting 10, maybe even 15% in the SPMO, that for me is about the risk tolerance that I would see within these ETFs. I wouldn't go really above and beyond that just for the fact that it is going to get, in my opinion, guys, and again, let me know in the comments, I would be very cautious doing like 20, 30, 40, 50% into the SPMO and literally just letting it run. I know the returns are there, but it does also have a very, very high risk factor. Then we start going into the comparison. This is where I wanted to break down kind of the average returns. You can see, guys, since inception, look at this. The VOO is at 14% return since inception. 1 year, 30%, 5 years, 12, 10 years, 14. And then, like I said, since inception of the VOO, you're looking at a 14% return. And that's where these numbers get kind of crazy. This is the reason why, me personally, I would much rather hold, and I do hold the VOO in a much larger percentage, roughly 30% of the portfolio, versus holding the VTI. This is kind of the S&P 500 versus the total index. Holding the total index, you would have and had only a 9.3% return since the inception of the VTI, where the VOO's at that 14%. But looking at them, they're almost neck and neck every single year. Little bit overperforming than we've seen right here, a little bit of underperforming right here. That again is dependent on how those small caps and those mid caps hold. And then of course, when we look at the SPMO holding, 17.87%, that is kind of incredible. Then we look at the holdings. This is again where it's pretty interesting to see because the breakout is so different. And I think really the kind of, I guess, the diversification aspect that we do see in here. I wonder if I can slide this over a little. I don't think it's going to. But looking at a little bit of the diversification. So if you're holding something like the VOO, there is going to be direct overlap when it comes to the VTI. There is going to be direct overlap when it comes to the SPMO, but it is going to be in very, very different percentages. And that is important where when you look right here, we have NVIDIA, we have Apple, we have Microsoft. Of course, the VTI is going to track it just at a little bit of a lower weight, which you see right here. And then looking at NVIDIA, they think it still has a very, very long run and really to go. But you'll notice right below here, there is no Apple. You are not seeing Microsoft. Those are not companies they think are going to carry and have enough momentum to actually make a big difference in the market and really the market movers. Micron's in here, Johnson & Johnson, and a lot of these might be much further down the list, even right here as number 14 for the weighted. And you also notice how fast this really drops off when you start looking at the weighting of these companies. I mean, we're in company number 14 right here within the VTI. We're less than 1% right here, even at 14. We are at 1%, just to show you like how small of a percentage some of these companies actually hold within the holdings, where NVIDIA, 7%, 6%, 5% with Microsoft. They are those mega cap, really tech companies that are very market weighted because of the size of these companies that really do dominate the S&P 500 and of course the Vanguard total stock market. Makes a really big difference when you break these down. So looking at this, guys, again, I really wanted to shed some light, and I want to do this to the videos as well, because I had a lot of questions when it came to foundational ETFs, the value, the broad growth, everything of that nature. And again, I wanted to really show you and break it down when it comes to what do the numbers actually look like, how does it look like, what does it look like, kind of in comparison to each other. Because it is pretty interesting to see when you actually run the numbers and see, well, if I put my money in, if I had been investing in the VOO versus the VTI versus the SPMO, what would it look like and how different would it look? So let's simplify this, guys. If you want a simple, very proven exposure, big companies, you're going to be looking at the VOO, you're going to be looking at the S&P 500. Now, of course, when it comes to these, you can use any company, whether it's Fidelity, whether it's Vanguard, any company that's going to offer an S&P 500 fund like the SPY. It doesn't make a difference as long as it's tracking the same index with a very, very low cost. Now, if you want that true diversification across the entire US market, that obviously is going to be the VTI. And looking at this, even since inception, it has kind of underperformed both the VOO and the SPMO. And if you're looking to push those much higher returns, having a little bit more risk towards those companies that are always winning or already winning, the S&P 500, that momentum is built for that entirety of being able to drive the ETF. But here's the part that most people ignore. Each of these will underperform the market at some point. Each of these will have a drawback period at some point. VOO lags when smaller companies take off within the small cap and the mid cap. VTI lags behind, and it will when these large cap companies dominate. And SPMO will test momentum like we seen the reversal right there, where it was already down 8.5%. So the real edge isn't picking this right ETF. It's choosing the one that you're not going to sell or you're not going to abandon for many, many years, because consistency is going to beat optimization every single time. So making this foundational choice and really picking the ETF that's going to make the most sense really does make a big difference. So in the next video, I want to break down some of these and really looking at the comparison with some of my value, some of the growth ETFs, some of that nature, just to know exactly what we're investing in. So that's going to do it for today's video. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Hit the like button, share this out there so everybody gets this information. As always, thank you guys for watching.